Yes, I know, yet another video from me about Phil Schofield and Holly Willoughby jumping the Queen's lying in state queue. And it may not be anything significant to some people. However, I believe people have simply had enough of sickening, self-congratulatory, narcissistic sycophants like this ghastly pair who hosted this morning. And it's only right that people call these idiots out, because it's simply not fair that they can do this sort of thing and be comfortable with it. We need to take that comfort away in order to stop them doing it in the future. Now, this so-called Q-gate has escalated. That's why I'm making another video on it, because there is now a petition online to get them sacked from this morning. It's got like 30,000 signatures. Now, I haven't signed it. I'm not sharing it because I think it's a wee bit over the top. And it's feeding into that cancel culture, isn't it? So rather than have a direct involvement in them losing their jobs, just don't watch them. Don't watch them on television. Hit them in the ratings. And also, Holly Willoughby has called in her lawyers because she reckons people are lying about them two jumping the queue. Well, there are photographs here which tell a different story. But first of all, let's dispel what they claimed they were doing. So they said they went in there in order to film a segment for their show, so people who couldn't join the queue and be there to experience the whole thing can watch them do it on telly instead. Now, the only thing they did was they filmed a guy outside Parliament painting a picture of the huge queue, and they talked to him for about 2 minutes. They were then ushered past the huge queue outside Parliament and into a side entrance with a sign that says, "No public access for education groups only." And so accompanying them on this little project of theirs was the editor of This Morning, Martin Frizzle. And you know, usually, right, and I used to watch This Morning when I've got nothing better to do. When things like this happen, they send like lesser reporters or journalists or broadcasters to do these silly little videos, and then Phil and Holly are always sat on the sofa. So why did they need to go? Why did they take their editor with them? I'll tell you why. It was an opportunity to jump a 12, 13, 14-hour queue and use their credentials as celebrities to do so. It's completely shameless. And so they managed to get into Westminster Hall. And then, as this photo shows, with the beige carpet to the right there, an elderly fellow with a walking stick who had queued, no doubt, for 10, 12, 14 hours. There they are, and they are right next to the coffin at this stage. And the wall you can see to the left is the viewing gallery. That's where they should have been if they really were there in the capacity of being journalists, as they claim to have been. And so their entire excuse is based on the lie that they did this so people who couldn't join the queue got the experience of it while watching them do it on telly. Well, they didn't. You know, if they wanted to get a real feel of what it was like, they would have joined the queue in the beginning and have their camera crew join them on the whole ordeal. And then none of this queue gate would have happened. Holly Willoughby wouldn't be crying every couple of minutes over it. Their reputations wouldn't be trashed, and they'd have had a lot more respect. But they didn't. They fucking lied. And to call themselves accredited journalists, I mean, my God, that's like me switching on the kitchen lights and calling myself an electrician. And remember, there were countless news programmes covering what was going on around the coffin in Westminster Hall 24/7. So people didn't really need to watch Phil and Holly have their experience on their behalf, did they? And so to summarise, I believe they lied. They really did jump the queue. And the more excuses they're giving over this whole affair, the deeper their reputations are sinking. And it's hard not to see how Philip Schofield managed to get one over his wife for all those years, because he's obviously very good at carrying on like he hasn't done anything wrong. Like I said earlier, folks, sickening, self-congratulatory, narcissistic sycophants. And it wouldn't surprise me that Holly Willoughby, at least, will quit the show, because pretty airheads like her, they live for the popularity of celebrity status, and now that's literally flittering away. And that's that. That's what I think. Obviously, if that does happen, I will make another video on it. But these people, they really bring it upon themselves, really. And that's that. That's my video. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next time, look after yourselves, have a great day, and Roger Trout.